ProgressiveMedicalCenter.com. Now back to the Dana Barrett Show, right here on Biz 1190.
All right, we are back. It is Friday, and it is a good Friday up in here because we've got Danica Campbell hanging out with us, CEO of Everywhere Agency. So nice to have you here.
I love being here.
Yeah, it's really fun. And listen, I want to get into the company and the background and all of that. But then I do want to get to a little bit of some tips for folks because it is December 1. We are approaching holiday time where the drinks are flowing and maybe you get a little loose with your social media. So we want to.
Rule number 1, don't drink and tweet.
That's a good one. Don't drink and tweet. Don't run the country and tweet also, but that's a different story for a different day. No worries.
With those stubby little fingers.
Right.
How he does it.
Don't do that.
At 6 a.m. I have no clue.
Right. Or when you're falling asleep. Do I need to remind everyone of Kofefi? Probably not. All right. But let's start with you, Danica, because Everywhere Agency, you describe it as a social media and influencer marketing agency. And I feel like that is something that couldn't have even existed, 10 years ago?
It did not exist. The word influencer marketing did not exist 10 years ago. You know, around 9 years ago, we started hearing about bloggers.
Yes.
And brands started coming to me, and it usually looked like this. I want those mommy bloggers, or I want those tech bloggers.
Right.
So it really kind of emerged out of that.
Yeah.
And now it's emerged into full-fledged influencer marketing.
So this has now become influencer marketing, and we'll get into a little bit more about what it is and how it works, has really become part of the strategy.
Absolutely.
For companies of all
Absolutely.
sizes. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you, I know, work with some big brands.
Yes.
So what are they looking for when they're looking for an influencer?
So typically what a brand wants as an influencer is a natural advocate. So when we're looking for an influencer for a brand, we're looking for somebody who would want to talk about that brand naturally. So if it's Macy's, it's an influencer who already shops at Macy's.
Sure.
If it's Carter's Oshkosh, it's a mommy or daddy who really loves those, wholesome, wonderful clothing that Carter's and Oshkosh create.
I feel like there was a time when that was only ever celebrities.
Yes. Well, yes and no. Here's the truth. Influencer marketing is now a buzzword.
Yeah.
But really, it's the same thing as word of mouth marketing.
Sure. It's just online.
It's just the difference is that those influencers have a large digital footprint.
Right. So the brands can sort of find them and go after them in a way that they couldn't.
And also those influencers can share great things with their audience about things that are going on in their community, about brands they love.
So if somebody wants to, become an influencer, because I know lots of young women who, love products, makeup, whatever, who want to do this and who start, trying to get there on their Instagram or whatever else. Is there a path to this?
Well, the best influencers really got into it because they had something to say and they're great content creators, much like you.
Okay.
You have a lot to say and you found a platform to say it. So the great influencers really got into it for that reason. They didn't get into it because, boy, I can get a lot of free swag or a lot of free product.
Right.
So really you have to look at what you're passionate about.
Right.
Maybe you're passionate about cooking. Maybe you're passionate about makeup or beauty. Well, really explore that, but don't go into it immediately thinking I've got dollar signs. Think about it as building a community.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because I know, like I said, we see that a lot of people are trying to do that. And
buying followers and
and that's not the way to go. No, not the way to go. You heard it right here, folks. Danica Campbell hanging out with us this morning, CEO of Everywhere Agency. But you do have a way for people to sort of join your network online.
Absolutely.
Okay, so talk about that a little bit.
So we have a network of influencers that is fantastic for us because we do work with a lot of big brands. So we're able to really be that match.com between brand and influencer. And, if you are an influencer with a really, really kind of strong digital footprint, a great blog, a great Instagram, they can go to my site, www.everywhereagency.com. But it's a curated network, so you've really got to have
so you're applying through there, and you're sharing all your platforms and your numbers.
Yes.
And if you're approved, then you get to become part of the network. Very cool. Well, I want to switch gears a little bit with you because since I've got your expertise in here, I want to switch gears and talk a little bit about social media for the holidays.
Yes.
And first, let me ask you: have any of your network ever just blown it and made a terrible mistake and kind of gotten, maybe not kicked out, but gotten in trouble with you?
Well,
tell the truth.
I've blown it.
That's honest. I like that.
When it comes to social media in the holidays, a couple of years ago, I must confess, I've got a gorgeous Christmas tree and I've got antique ornaments, and I was putting up the ornaments on the tree and they look so beautiful, and I got seriously into the grams, and every ornament that got up, I had to stage it perfectly and light it and photograph it. And my kids looked at me and they said, Mom,
you're not enjoying the holiday. This is all about
can we
Instagram.
put up the tree?
Yeah.
So I've blown it.
So that's a personal, right. But
Yeah.
that's an interesting side note, which I think sometimes you have to put the gadgets away and enjoy your family.
Yeah, I think with this holiday coming up, you really have to decide, do I want to be present?
Right.
Or do I want to be on Facebook? And the temptation is to document every single moment and to be, you can't see me, but stuck in the face in the phone.
Yeah.
And that really doesn't allow you to be present with your family. And this really is a special time. It goes by so fast.
Yeah.
That who do you want to be with? Do you want to be with the gram, or do you want to be with the grandma?
You are adorable. Love that. But that's a really great tip. I think, you know what? Get the photo, take a couple of photos. Because look, grandma likes to be on Facebook too. So take a couple of photos, get everybody together, do the group photo, maybe take some pictures while the kids are opening their gifts or whatever, and then put it away.
But
just like you would in the old days.
Okay, but let's ask permission, because not
Fair
everybody has the same sharing standards that you have.
That's fair.
I'm a big sharer.
Yeah.
You see my entire life
Yeah.
on my Instagram and my Facebook. There are no holds barred. But particularly many parents feel uncomfortable with sharing photos of their children.
Yeah.
So ask before you post.
That's smart, yeah.
Uncle Joe may not want that photo of him kind of drunk in the corner with the double chin on your Facebook page. So kind of set guidelines ahead of time.
Oh, Uncle Joe. No, fair enough. Fair enough. And what about on the company side? Because I feel like companies make a lot of mistakes too. Some are probably easy to sort of back away from and get out of, and some are pretty damaging. So what should companies be thinking about?
Well, for the holidays, of course, those companies that are in retail, they're so focused on selling.
Yeah.
But it's really important to also be focused on giving.
Yes.
And giving back. So I think the companies that are doing it right are focused both on the wonderful products they have, but also how they're giving back. So I'm just going to give a shout out to Oshkosh and Carter's, because of course this is the big holiday season where you buy adorable clothes for your babies.
Right.
But they also support the pajama program, where they gift pajamas for children who are homeless.
Yeah.
So those are the companies that I appreciate on social media. Those are the places I want to shop. If it's a constant barrage in my face of coupons, sales, are you coming in? I don't feel a connection with those kind of brands.
Yeah, and I have to say too, I appreciate the giving back, but I also sometimes don't like when it's constantly being forced on me. Like, hey, you know what? We will give back, but only if you do. Like that sort of
Yes.
annoys me. Like,
Yes.
you give back as a company. I already give you a lot of my money all year
Exactly,
long. Why are you waiting for me
exactly.
to give more now? You
Exactly.
give.
Exactly.
And I also think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I also think it's probably nice for companies to take a moment or two or three and appreciate their customers. And just be thankful and say thank you and happy holidays to you and thank you, and here's a gift to you, not just a coupon.
And from a business perspective, when you combine that with social media, the companies that are doing that right are the companies that are featuring their actual customers on their social media channels.
Yes.
They're actively engaging with their customers.
Yeah.
If they see their customers mention them, they're liking them. They might, ask if they can share that piece of content. So they're really defining social media as a two-way street, not just a push mechanism.
All right, listen, I got to ask you to put on two hats here, the social media advisor and the boss.
Okay.
Because I know there's also a lot of mistakes that happen with the employees doing bad social media and putting the companies in difficult positions. So do you have a talk with all of the employees before the holidays, or really multiple times a year, saying, here are the rules?
Not before the holidays.
Okay.
You do it when the hiring happens.
Okay, right after that. Yeah.
Companies really need to have a clear social media policy
Yes.
about what can be shared and what can't be shared.
Okay.
Now, at the end of the day, social media belongs to me. So you as a company can't control what I say or I do any more than you can control what I say or I do on my phone.
Right.
But to have guardrails and guidelines as what to do and what not to
Well,
do.
because of course, here's the problem. That's true, and that's why people get themselves in trouble, because we've heard all the stories about, the Bank of America employee who, posts some racial slur and then gets fired because that, even though it's her own personal social media accounts, it reflects back on the company.
It reflects back on the company.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you do have to have those policies where, look, it is your own account, but at your own risk. If you are publicly shaming us, we have the right to let you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So those things are important. And also maybe just don't publicly shame. Just keep your nonsense to yourself. That's some good advice right straight from me. Even I know that. Danica, thank you so much for being here. Danica Campbell, again, from Everywhere Agency. We'll post a link to all things Danica on our show notes page at danabarrett.com. It's Friday. Don't go away. We'll be back.
Music sounds better with you.